Week 15 of the 2020 college football season is done, and we are headed into Week 16, which is the final week of games before we head into the bowl season. And that also means that all of the bowls will be confirmed, and we're going to find out who's on the college football playoff and everything here next Sunday. So this is our third and final edition of our bowl projections for this 2020 season. And with that being said, we're going to look at some bowl projections now, starting out with a Frisco Bowl, which of course in the games that are highlighted in green right now, those are all the games that have been confirmed. So I can tell you for sure that 5 games here have already been confirmed, including the Frisco Bowl. We're going to see UTSA and SMU there. In the Myrtle Beach Bowl, we'll have Appalachian State, North Texas. And then in the Idaho Potato Bowl, we're going to have Nevada and Tulane, which Frisco Bowl is coming up just this Saturday. If you think about it, that is certainly going to be an interesting game, considering we also got several conference championship games on the 19th. So that's kind of a rare situation, or a once-in-a-lifetime situation, where we're going to see conference championships and bowl games on the same day. Just a crazy year. But in the Boca Raton Bowl, we got UCF and Ball State currently projected. And just keep in mind, especially on this first slide here, a lot of these games I am pretty confident will happen. So yeah, for all you guys in the group of 5 conference teams, I am pretty confident that we will see a lot of those games be confirmed within the coming days. But in the Boca Raton Bowl, we got UCF, Ball State. New Orleans Bowl is going to be Georgia Southern and Louisiana Tech. And then Montgomery Bowl has been confirmed. Memphis and Fort Atlantic will be playing in that game. And then in the New Mexico Bowl, it's going to be Hawaii and Houston. So lots of good games there. On Christmas, we got the Camellia Bowl between Buffalo and Coastal Carolina, which that should make for a good matchup, considering Coastal Carolina, for one, is still undefeated. And Buffalo's on the rise right now as well. They're still undefeated too, so we could see a matchup there of possible 2 undefeated teams. Then in the Gasparilla Bowl, we got Florida State and Liberty, which who knew Florida State would be in a bowl game, considering they are far from being a winning team. But the ACC's been a mess because they've got a couple of teams that have opted out of being in a bowl game, so that puts Florida State in the key slot. It's either Florida State or Georgia Tech going to be in that game, but I just put in Florida State because they're just more likely to be selected. But in the Care Bowl, we got UAB Troy. First Responder Bowl is going to be Wake Forest and Tulsa. And then in the Independence Bowl, we're going to see BYU and Oregon. First really good game there between both of those teams. I mean, BYU has had a great season, and then Oregon, of course. Don't sleep on Oregon. They still have a chance to possibly be in a New Year's Six bowl game if they can win the Pac-12 championship. Because, I mean, if you might have not heard yet, but for Oregon, I mean, this is a team that's now in the Pac-12 championship. Previously, it was supposed to be Washington and USC, but Washington had several COVID positives, so they are now out of the game, and that puts Oregon in their place. So we're going to possibly see Oregon in a New Year's Six bowl game if they can take down USC there, but that is definitely still up for grabs, so I'm putting them in the Independence Bowl for now. Moving on to the second half of your bowl games, we got the Guaranteed Rate Bowl, which is going to be West Virginia and Penn State. Penn State's been on the rise recently, so good for them. But for the Military Bowl, we got Louisville and Navy. Cheez-It Bowl is going to be Oklahoma State and Miami. Valero Alamo Bowl is going to be Iowa State and Washington. So I do expect Washington to get placed in a halfway decent bowl game, even though they got taken out of the Pac-12 championship. In the Duke's Mayo Bowl, we got Virginia Tech and Wisconsin. That should make for a good matchup there. Music City Bowl, Minnesota and Tennessee. Armed Forces Bowl is going to be Colorado and Kentucky. And there, I mean, we could actually see a possible rematch of an old Big 12 rivalry game there if Colorado does get to play Missouri, because Missouri is a possible candidate for the Armed Forces Bowl as well. I've got Missouri in a different bowl game for this week, but there is a chance that we do see Colorado and Missouri in that game. But I've got Colorado and Kentucky for now. Liberty Bowl is going to be TCU and South Carolina. Arizona Bowl, Western Michigan, Nevada. Texas Bowl is going to be Texas and Arkansas. Kind of an interesting matchup there. Birmingham Bowl is going to be San Jose State, Mississippi State. Another kind of weird situation in the SEC. I mean, Mississippi State is far from being a winning team. But in the SEC, we've got several bowl slots, and that's just where they land for now. But in the Gator Bowl, we got NC State and Ole Miss. And that wraps up your general bowl games as we head into your bigger bowl games. First one is going to be the Citrus Bowl this week. I've got Iowa and Missouri in this matchup. I just think Iowa is all around the team that should deserve to be in this game, because, I mean, Iowa's won 6 in a row coming into this week, possibly even 7 in a row if they can take down Minnesota this Saturday, which, I mean, I definitely expect them to. So for Iowa, I've got them in the Citrus Bowl playing up against Missouri, which Missouri certainly is not the best team in the world, but this is a team that is still pretty talented, so it should make for a good matchup if it does happen. Moving on to the Outback Bowl, we got Northwestern and Auburn, and this is kind of an interesting situation here, because I definitely think Northwestern is going to either be in the Outback or the Citrus Bowl. It's just a matter of which one at this point. I'm going to put them in the Outback Bowl for now, against an Auburn team that's really in kind of a mess right now. I mean, they fired their head coach previously this week in Gus Malzahn, so that's going to be kind of an interesting game for Auburn there if they can even compete hardly in that game, considering, I mean, once again, it was a really weird timing for them to fire him, considering, I mean, they still have got a good bowl game up ahead in either the Outback Bowl or the Citrus Bowl if you're Auburn here. And, I mean, it's definitely going to be where it would be a good bowl win if you could get a win there. So for Auburn to fire him already is a little bit of a surprise, but nonetheless, Auburn is still a talented team. They got Bo Nix and a pretty good offense. It should make for a good match against a Northwestern team that has been pretty good on defense. Moving on to the Cotton Bowl, we got Oklahoma and Texas A&M here, and I've seen several different predictions for the Cotton Bowl. I've seen Iowa State in this game. I've seen Florida in this game, so really it's all over the place. But I've got Oklahoma and Texas A&M here. I just think with Texas A&M being in their home state and for a bowl game in their own state, I think they're going to get selected to the Cotton Bowl here. Oklahoma, I do predict to win the Big 12, so I'm going to put them in this game as well. But if Iowa State does win, I probably would put them in the Cotton Bowl as well. Moving on to the Peach Bowl, we got Georgia and Cincinnati. Nothing has changed here. This game has been the same projection all 3 weeks that I've done bowl projections. I mean, Georgia's a perfect fit here because it's in Atlanta in their home state. And for Cincinnati, of course, Cincinnati's been really good all season, and there's no doubt that they should get placed in a New Year's Six Bowl this season. I just think it's going to land best for them to be in the Peach Bowl. In the Fiesta Bowl, we got USC and Indiana coming up, and this should be a great matchup if it does happen. And I've got USC winning the Pac-12 right now, but once again, Oregon could be in this matchup if they beat USC in the Pac-12 championship. Do keep that in mind moving forward. But USC, I've got them winning the game. I'm going to put them in the Fiesta Bowl up against an Indiana Hoosier team that has been really good all season. So if this matchup does happen, it should make for a good one because, I mean, if USC does win the Pac-12, that puts them as an undefeated team coming into the Fiesta Bowl, which, I mean, that would be quite a matchup there against an Indiana team that has been very great all season. They've been a huge surprise team all season long. And it would be a great way to end it off if Indiana was in the Fiesta Bowl, which I do expect them to be. To the Orange Bowl, I've got Florida and North Carolina currently in this game, and this one's gone back and forth over the past few weeks. And the thing is about Florida here is that with this game being in their home state, I think Florida would get selected into this bowl game. But honestly, I mean, that's not up for me to decide. That's up for the bowl owners to decide. But I've got Florida facing off against North Carolina here. I mean, for North Carolina in this situation, they definitely want Clemson to beat Notre Dame this weekend because if Clemson beats Notre Dame, that more than likely puts Notre Dame and Clemson into the college football playoff. And if that does happen, North Carolina is the first one out, so that puts them in the Orange Bowl. However, if Clemson loses to Notre Dame this weekend, that probably puts Clemson into the Orange Bowl, and that knocks North Carolina out into a lower caliber bowl game. So, yeah, there's a lot of factors that go into this game, especially right here. But for now, I've got Florida and North Carolina. Moving on to the College Football Playoff Sugar Bowl, I've got Alabama and Notre Dame in this one. It's a rematch of a previous national championship, so it should be quite a game between both these teams for sure. I mean, both teams have been very great all season long. Both teams have been very dominant. I mean, Notre Dame is still undefeated at 10-0, but I think Notre Dame loses in the ACC championship game to Clemson, which will knock them down to the 4 seed, which they'll have to play Alabama, which, I mean, Alabama's not a team that you want to play right now, but yeah, they're going to play them in the Sugar Bowl. Should make for a great game here. And then lastly, for the Rose Bowl, we're going to see Clemson and Ohio State playing each other in Pasadena for a shot at the national championship. Clemson will be the 2 seed after they beat Notre Dame. I just don't think that Clemson gets jumped above Alabama for beating Notre Dame. So we're going to see Clemson as the 2 seed. Ohio State's going to win the Big Ten. They're going to be the 3 seed in the Rose Bowl. So it should make for a great matchup here. Of course, we've seen Clemson and Ohio State play each other many, many times in the past. And most of the time, Clemson's won, but who knows? Maybe we could see a different result this time around. But that wraps up my bowl projections for week number 16. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below on these. Let me know if you do anything differently. And once again, this is our last projection for bowl games for this 2020 season. It was fun doing these over the past 3 weeks. I'll give you guys my reaction on all the bowl games once we get to all the selections here on Sunday. But once again, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I appreciate you guys all watching. Stay tuned for more from All Sports Central. I will see you all later.